it's Mark and Cindy on the radio, 10 to 11 a.m. Well, it's Mark and Cindy, they've got a morning show. Every day I listen in. We're going to talk about...
Good morning, Montgomery County, and everybody that is in the sound of my voice.
Cindy's still sick. She's inundated with what you call your pills.
Yeah, I hurt my elbow, so my voice has really been affected by that, and I'm doing good. This is my second day off of antibiotic.
That's right.
And I feel so much better, and I can see the world, and it's all clear.
Wow.
I don't understand why antibiotics are supposed to help you feel good, mess you up so bad in
They can do that.
other ways.
They can do stuff to your system we don't even want to talk about. But let me say this. One thing we do want to talk about, Cindy, is we've got the most lovely guest. She's a president. Should we call you President, Ms. Milstead?
Oh, I'd love it.
Amy Milstead, president of Milstead Automotive, Transmission, Collision, and Towing. Cindy, I did my homework. I don't know about you.
I've known Amy for so long.
Get out of your city.
That I felt like, I'd just say like, hey, it's good to see you. And see
Well,
you in a
I
long
taught the
time.
girl way back when, and I didn't realize it till she came
You
here.
did a good job. You ought to use that on your resume. That you
I should,
taught
yeah.
Amy
and
Milstead.
speak of that, of course,
And here she is.
You've recognized him because the Milstead Automotive, Transmission, Collision, and Towing is also the sponsor of the Mark and Cindy Show here on the...
Yeah.
What?
Wait, no, not yet.
They're not
That
the sponsor.
Mark, that was going to be a conversation
you're the
after.
president. What's happened? We're the voice
No
of
pressure,
Montgomery
no
County.
pressure, huh?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I was trying to be subtle about it, but Mark,
Yeah.
he's right out there. It's like, okay.
No,
where's
but
the money?
Amy's here. We're so pleased to have you, young lady. And
But at least we don't charge people to be on our show like
We
some
don't.
shows like Deborah Duncan.
Yeah, that Deborah Duncan. She's
who
a doll.
do you think you are? No, but that's okay. That's okay. If they'll pay it, you take it.
Just as long as it's
okay.
sunny.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, we want everybody to be on our show. But it's very
right.
special
But
people.
Cindy,
though. It's not everybody.
This has a lot to do with that. And that's a lie. But I found out, can I share something with you? It's one of those did you know thing.
What?
I know you got to. Cindy, I found out today
Uh-oh.
that these shorts are reversible. They're
Okay, now
they're
everybody's got to
plaid.
look under the table.
They're plaid. I could right now take these off, switch them out, scare the willies out of everybody.
please don't.
I think you should cuff them.
I should. Oh, man. But see, I bought them at Sam's because they have the best in everything. And I kept wondering why the zipper flap thing
How
keeps
does
going
that work?
backwards. It
you
will zip on the
on-
inside and the outside.
outside?
You know,
I'm
we
telling
can
you.
put a man on the moon, but we have not
And-
come close to this, and
No.
I don't know when. Reversible men's shorts.
Awesome. If they can do that with bras, that would be great. Just why
Okay,
not?
I don't-
Why not? Couldn't they just reverse
Well,
the bra and then
It
you could
works
wear it.
for me, but I don't know
could wear
what
it
your
twice as
problem
small.
is.
Why wear anything at all?
Okay, Dick. Now that's one step over the
Now
line.
wait, what is
Sweet
that? What is
Mary.
that? That's called commando, going commando, right?
Oh, I think.
I don't know why they say that, but that's what it's called if you go without underwear.
Yeah.
So
Well, I could cut the seams out of these, and it'd be like one of those Scottish kilts. And yes, I don't wear underwear.
okay,
That's a
write
lie.
that
I
down.
do.
This is our week of
much
Did You Know?
Cindy,
and
you've
really crossed the
We're
line
really
on that.
hurting
Did you know?
Milstead Automotive right now. I don't know if you realize.
No,
Okay.
it's that they help everybody.
They do.
People that
I
are in
don't care.
trouble, and so she's here because that's how we roll.
Oh.
And so she's here to help pick us up and get us on the right track.
Correct.
That's what.
And she's
told us at Wicked
active in
Publicity.
everything that's Montgomery County.
Oh yeah. She's like
get to that
everywhere,
later.
and so we I don't know. I moved out here, and everywhere you saw Milstead.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, and I've got a question to ask her in the second segment about what it's like, and for your children to see their name plastered everywhere, all over the place, and them know that that's their name, that's their heritage. So I want to know what that's like. That's just a cool feeling, I think. I mean, I tried to get that by moving to the Woodlands and Cochrane's Crossing, and then coming out to Conroe. There was Cochrane's everywhere in Conroe at the time. You had storefronts with Cochrane's name on it, and so, but I couldn't pretend it. I couldn't lie.
She was
Not
one of
that
my
one.
students, and I never associated Milstead Automotive then. Of course, that was
You did not?
1990. I did not. 'Cause I didn't need towed that much. But I did need transmission work. No. By the way, at Sam's when I was there, Cindy, they have a box of Milstead Eskimo pies. Did you know that they are involved?
In
That wasn't
Eskimo
theirs?
pies? I
thought
don't
so.
think that's theirs.
Maybe it wasn't Milstead.
No, I don't think that's theirs. But
Okay.
I just know that if you go to a restaurant and you say your last name is Milstead, you get up to the front of the line. I
Hater's
found that
not
out.
working, I'll tell you that much.
Well,
but
you know,
Milstead is.
That's what I'm saying. So names are important. And speaking of did you knows, did you read my
I did, and it was
Post?
very good.
my post? I post every morning on the Mark and Cindy show, and I don't know if you visited this morning yet, Amy, but if you go to the Facebook, the Mark and Cindy show, we tell what's going to happen the next day. So she right now has got her phone, and she's going to put us in there. And if you'll like us, we'd love
Like us.
that. Please like us.
And the people are saying, "Hey, why don't you sponsor those people?" I don't know.
That's
Go
what
ahead,
we're
Cindy.
thinking, but we're not going to be putting pressure.
That's
on or
over.
anything like that.
We're through with it.
She's going to call her mother, her
She's the
stepmom,
president.
and at Wicked Publicity and say, "You put me on a show, and they put me on the spot, and I don't know why you did that to me."
That's Amy's stepmom.
Yes, Donna
Hokey
is her
smokes.
stepmom.
And I know Donna. What on earth is going down? Go
I'm
ahead,
telling
Cindy.
you, they're
keep going.
everywhere. Now, see if you
Did
get
you
me
know?
off of the.
It's the theme
know
this
that
week, Mark.
Donna Wicks is
Keep up.
Amy.
That's exactly right. So you looked at the Facebook post on the Mark and Cindy show.
It made me want to watch this show. Cindy.
And
I almost
and
stayed
so
home.
what was the fact that here's the question. What was the fact that I found, the did you know fact that I was talking about, and my grandchildren, Samuel and Cindy, experimented with it to see if they could.
Oh, I remember.
was it?
They can really sneeze when they want to. You can
Yeah, they
sneeze
can
when
make
you
them-
want to. You can
yes.
sneeze all day long.
They
Pepper?
open their mouth, put their tongue out, stare at the light. They can do it. They can make themselves sneeze. Your children can make themselves sneeze, right? Have you ever had?
I don't
no.
think we've
I
experienced
can't.
that.
Well, they can
I
do
don't
it. So,
think so.
it was.
They're really
the deal is
intelligent.
it says that it's impossible for you to close your eyes while you're sneezing.
Mm-hmm.
When you sneeze, you can't keep your eyes closed.
Yeah.
Open your eyes. You can't open your eyes. So it's impossible to open your eyes when you sneeze. So they were trying it, and they kept going, and then they're going like, "I'm going to do it this time,"
my
and they kept
goodness.
doing it over and over again. It was pretty
We need to
famous.
have
So-
them on. By the way, Cindy, I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt you again. I've got
Yes.
to make this correction on one of the did you know things I mentioned previously. It has to do with if you're nauseous.
Yeah.
One of those things, if you inhale rubbing alcohol, it will make you stop feeling that way. I've never tried it in a while. Amy, I have not thrown up in 15 years. I am so blessed. But here's the thing. Freeman, my
But
good
he's an
friend,
alcoholic.
was... Quit that,
Okay.
young lady. Freeman, my good friend, was, and he was throwing up because he was on antibiotics and everything else, too, and it got him. And so he wanted a Phenergan. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, and I said, Virginia, let him breathe rubbing alcohol. And she said, well, we got a lot of that. I'll let him breathe it. And son of a gun, he breathed it and threw up. I think when you're in the middle of the nausea, it might not. If you're that deep into it,
Yeah.
I don't think the alcohol
It
is
may
gonna
be a
help.
level, but breathing in alcohol.
So, ladies and gentlemen, don't wait that long before
No.
you breathe it in.
No,
That's all
no,
I'm saying.
no. But I did tell you that lemon juice will settle your stomach.
You did.
Before you throw up, if you'll take some salt and lemon juice, and that will help you. Okay, he's
Cindy,
looking
don't
at-
say another
he's
word
looking
because
at-
there is something else about that I've got to share that'll settle your stomach. Amy, you could have been home during all of this. You would have missed out on so much fascinating things. Bananas settle your stomach. Bananas, ginger, plain yogurt. Paprika? I don't think so. Applesauce, oatmeal with rice, and chicken
Whoa.
broth. All of those will settle an upset stomach.
Oh, maybe,
But
it
not
depends
rubbing
on-
alcohol. It'll make you throw
no,
up.
it didn't say lemon juice.
It didn't. In fact, it does say any
call
citric
him in.
juice does not work, according to this thing. So
You left off baking soda.
baking soda, that's right. It does everything like
Wait a
vinegar
minute.
does.
You mean you like put baking soda on?
Mix it in some water and drink a
Oh,
couple
okay,
drinks,
I was
and
gonna
it
say-
settles it.
Oh, and one of them, Amy, was
Da-da-da.
if you put baking soda, baking powder, there's a big difference in those, and one of them
Yes,
comes
it
in an
is.
Arm& Hammered thing, and that's the
Right.
stuff I'm talking about.
Right.
If you have a splinter, and I mentioned this last week or week before, and get moisten it a little bit and put it on a splinter, after a while it's supposed to suck it out. Have you tried that, Amy? I haven't.
No, but I saw it on Facebook.
Son of a gun. That's where I did. That's where I get most of my.
No, but I say the whole
Stuff
day.
It's all true because it's
the
on Facebook,
stuff
right?
that I can't
Right.
substantiate, but sounds just really good.
Richard, when we first started doing this, I would talk about things that I'd done or in my past and all, and he never believed anything.
No.
He said, "I gotta have a receipt, for that, because I don't believe any of the stuff that you say."
Mm-hmm.
So every time we do something outrageous, we have to say that. Now I'm going to say this: I never have gotten drunk. I never drank. Because of my bringing up, it took with me. It didn't with my brother, but it took with me, and I didn't take
Your Uncle Ed, oh my word.
No,
don't.
Uncle Ed. Let's don't talk about Uncle Ed. But it did take with me, so I just never did it, and it's probably a good thing. I never smoked and I never drank, and it's because of the way I eat. They said it's probably good you never did try that other stuff, or you probably would have been addicted to. You have personalities; they're addictive personalities, but the chemicals of it, you don't know until you start taking it, whether you're allergic to it or what it is that causes you to want more and you can't help yourself.
Right.
But the taking drugs or taking
I'm sorry, go ahead.
taking or drinking too much is going to be a good segue into our second segment.
I certainly
it's
hope
going to be
so.
full Amy Milstead about what's going on, and we're going to get this fly. Are you seeing the fly too? I just want to make sure I wasn't
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
it.
I don't know.
It's
I
a fly.
keep trying to get rid of him, and I think he's living here now. It's just one fly.
Well, he's only got two
Well,
more
then let's
days.
name it or something, for goodness sakes,
yeah.
because it's just. But anyway, so we want to talk about that, and I'm so glad, because I got enough things I'm trying to get over and stop doing that I didn't have to add those to it. But I would get drunk going to parties by osmosis. I don't know what it was, but I would be around all these people that were just sloppy drunk, and I would get thick-tongued and start talking like,
old thick tongue.
and I was just, wait, I want to tell you something. And it was just ridiculous. I'm thinking, like, I haven't had one thing to drink, but I feel like, like everybody else does. But I'm the only one that would remember what happened during the party, and they come to me and say, "Cindy, did I have a good time?" or whatever. The other thing is anyone who doesn't drink or has never drank before, it is the mission of those people who enjoy drinking to get you drunk. They don't
Seems to
feel
be.
like you are happy. You don't know what you're missing, and try so hard to make that happen. I'm glad my mom was so,
Right. And we're
About
going to
that.
actually continue with the drinking thing in the second segment.
Yes, we're going to talk
Okay.
about why. Wait a minute. Are we going to talk about why it's okay to go ahead and drink because
I don't know why,
the
but-
Milsteads
Oh,
are
the
no, we're
taxi
not going to
thing.
do that. We're not going to do that.
By the
Okay.
way, before we cut into it, and I don't think he's given a second, so
Yeah.
we're going.
Oh, here we
listen
go.
to this. Oh, look. This is
You
not the
chose this?
screaming part. Yeah,
You chose this? Who is it?
heart.
I love Heart.
Right, Dick, you got to play this through the.
Amy's too young. Amy's
is.
too young for Heart. You don't remember Heart, do you? Oh,
Yes.
because you had older brothers. That's why.
Alone.
That's
And
why.
an older teacher.
Here it
Yeah.
comes. It's almost there.
The scream is at 2 minutes.
You like the scream? You like how Heart
It's
screams?
the best scream in rock and roll music.
This is Exit, right?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Dick.
no, yeah,
Get us
yeah,
out of
yeah.
here. We're coming back on the
Listen.
Market City Show in a couple of minutes with Amy Milstead, president
right.
of Milstead Automotive Transmission
It
Collision
works out well that way,
and
doesn't it?
towing.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a writer, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
Howdy, howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on irlonestar.com.
You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio. Now for your daily weather report. Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2014. Today's weather forecast: there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Partly sunny with a high near 92. Later on tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with a low around 73.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Donna Wick Public Relations. You've seen the billboards. That's right, Wicked Publicity. Contact them today at 832-326-1965 and visit them at wickedpublicity.com.
Why would you bring his mic up? Good grief. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Mark and Cindy Show.
Cindy, don't you wish you could scream like that?
I hate to tell you, that's probably done by, by
No.
21.
I've seen her on stage do that scream.
And you think it really came from her? Oh, okay.
Oh.
I just don't want to disillusion Mark. That's just things like that happen in the business. That's right.
Amy Milstead, what?
Amy Milstead is our special guest today, and if you live anywhere around the Montgomery County area, you have seen the trucks with the name on it, all the buildings with their name on it, and I had this question.
Let's hear it.
To find out, Amy, growing up with your name everywhere. Well, it wasn't probably everywhere when you were growing up, but it is now. And your kids and everything. What do they think about? What do you think about? How does that make you feel when you pass that by? All those names.
Well, I mean, my father's put a lot of time and a lot of hard years in what he's built, his establishment, and we're very proud. We're very honored and humbled by what he has done. It is, just a sense of pride to be a piece of that, to be able to carry on his legacy of what he started and the company, and to be here in Montgomery County. What a better place to be. Really? We love the area. It's a sense of pride and humble as well.
How old is your dad, by the way, Dick?
He is going to have a birthday this week. He'll be 71.
He's a youngster.
Baby.
And he started the company in 71. He must have been 14. Oh, my
wait a
word.
minute.
Don't get me started.
Sam is 72. I could be married to your...
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's what, don't say it.
Oh,
He already has a wife, sorry.
I could be your stepmother.
Let me read this. It's a quote I found Googling. I Googled Amy, and it says, her commitment to the community is reflected in a variety of community-based service projects and nonprofit organizations associated with Montgomery County. Additionally, here's what I like. Amy views environmental conservation as a responsibility to her community and future generations. Oh, man, if each of us had that sense about us, we wouldn't have a great deal of difficulties today. Anyway, and she's involved in so many things.
But when people become successful, they either go two ways. They, will be dead in a year, but most of them try and give back. They want to give back. They want to use the success that they feel like they've been blessed with and all that, and that's a great way to do it. And that's kind of a real common thread through people that are very successful and keep doing well is that they
Mrs.
feel
Baird,
like they've
she
gotta give
donated her
back.
trucks to the hurricane effort in. I made that up. I don't know if she did or not, but she was
we
famous
just
also.
sit there and go, and then you're
I'm
the one
sorry.
that
She
made
would have.
receipts
She
from.
would have done that if she could.
Not me. But anyway, that's great that you guys do give back, and I think that the thing that we were talking about drinking and all that, and one thing that we found out was a while back was that in this area we don't have need for taxis. People want their own truck.
Yeah, when you need one, you need one, but a lot of people don't need them.
Yeah, and we have to have them come out of Houston. It's
Yeah.
going to be pretty expensive.
It is.
And so we didn't have a good taxi service for people that, especially that were imbibed. Is that right? Imbibed?
Yeah,
Okay.
inebriated.
Yeah, and that they needed that service.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question to me is, because I'm not a heavy drinker, I don't drink.
Right. Is this for Mrs. Baird or for Amy?
This is for everybody here who drinks.
All
Okay,
God's children.
No, but if you're getting drunk, is that when you should call, or should you call before because you're going to get drunk? A lot of people just get drunk like, oh dear, I'm drunk. Oh no, here it is, I'm drunk and I don't know what to do with myself. So if you have a service that will come pick you up and take your car home with you, not you in the car, but you'll sit in the cab probably, and then
Right.
they'll take the car. That would be great. That's what you need. But when do they call, Amy? And tell us about Last Call.
Last Call is a program that we developed a little over 4 years ago, and we put it out there because of the fatalities that had happened. Lots of folks will remember the fatalities that had transpired on I-45 where they were going the wrong way on the road. And that hasn't been quite 4 years ago. Last Call had been around, but then it started getting more popular after those accidents. And being from this community, growing up here in this community, raising my family in this community, it's very important to me that the roads are safe. You talked about giving back to the community. That's something that our father had always taught in us. That's something he did in the business as he gave back. He made donations. He sponsored. He did things like that. And in our generation, it's kind of taken a new turn. You have to give back in different ways. Just writing a check and sponsoring something isn't all that you can do. There's other ways. And so that's one thing that we've done is try to give back a program. And we do it. Yes, there's a fee involved. However, it doesn't make us any money. All it does is pay the driver. But if someone's out drinking, they're having a good time. And sometimes when you're going to partake a little too much. And then there's times when you don't know. It just kind of happens. We encourage them. We have little key tags. We have them in lots of restaurants, our Last Call program. And they can call us when they're ready to go home. We don't need any notice. We can get there pretty quick. We'll take them, whoever's with them in their car and their vehicle, home for $50 within a 10-mile radius, and no questions asked. So the next morning when they wake up and they're like, oh my goodness, what did I do yesterday? They don't have to have that awkward, walk of shame. Where's my car? Who do I call? How did I get home? It's all there. Their car's there. Everybody made it home and made it safe. We do this because we want to protect lives out there. We see it on a daily basis with our tow trucks, and it is a dangerous area that we live in.
You
Montgomery
hauled
County.
the car home? Good grief.
And they put it in the bed next to them so that they'll remember.
No,
Don't
yeah,
ever
don't
do this
ever.
again.
Holy cow. And $50 is a cheap tow. I mean, it's done right, but it's a cheap tow, so that'd be
Well,
good.
imagine, if you had to call a taxi from
Yeah, and
Houston
they're not making
come
money
and
on it,
do
so that's...
You can get
Yeah.
your car home one of two ways. You can have the police department take it, and you can go with them.
Yeah.
Or you can
Yeah.
call ahead of time and just think safe. The life you save might be your own or someone you care about. That's all we're trying to do.
Well, now what is the phone number that they would call as you drink your coffee? Okay.
It is the main number to our office is 281-367-3535.
Okay, 367. That reminds me of ours. But I'm not going to confuse people. Okay. It's
I'm waiting for the
713.
last four again.
281-367-3535.
3535. Cindy, you
Okay.
remind me so much of me. It
you
is
know,
just sad.
I want to know, can we get that tattooed? Like people can get it tattooed right there on their arm, and so that
Yeah.
they remember it, and they just.
We do have the key rings. That might be a little easier and less painful.
Less
than
painful.
tattoo.
Okay. Well, okay. Key rings are good.
They are.
Now, and you give those out.
We'll
you
give them
said
out. If
they're
they'll call our office, we'll mail them to them. We have some plaques in a lot of the restaurants around Montgomery County. You go in the restroom and there's a little sign hanging. Don't make the mistake. Use Last Call, and it's got our phone number on there.
Okay.
And the
That's good.
bartenders, I imagine they would hopefully
It's
say,
on
buddy.
speed dial.
Yeah.
In the bartender.
Right.
Yeah, in the bar area.
Get your
Well,
buns over here.
that is great because I think that is something that a lot of people. I know, especially I know you guys. Whenever you're your tow trucks have to go out and pick up a wrecked car that's a teenager, and that these kids that go and prom and all the stuff that they go and they're going to get drunk. That's what you do, and then have to be towed home that way. But this is great that you have this, and they need to tell this in the schools as well, and tell them that there is an option. And I think, and there's no questions asked, no judgment.
That's right.
And Amy, I don't want to skirt this issue, but I do want to ask you something. I read here, it says Milstead has the largest fleet of towing and recovery vehicles. What's the difference between a tower and a recovery vehicle?
Towing is if you break down on the side of the road and you need to get your car moved to a repair shop. Recovery might be someone has a crash and goes into the lake. Someone is driving in their garage and they forget to push the brake and they keep on going, end up in the swimming pool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of recoveries.
That's got to be a tough recovery, the swimming pool.
Yeah, oh, definitely. We've seen it. And recoveries can go as far as even your tractor trailers, and they have an accident, and it's called a lost load. And so we go out and we recover all of the cargo that's in there. And so that's also a recovery.
Good grief.
It's not just a tow. When you have a big accident like that, usually an accident involves a recovery.
You know, you started at the ground level. Your dad had you start at the ground level. What did that entail? Where and how did you move up? What are the things you did?
It was ugly. We have 7 kids in our family, and every one of us started out in our shop. Every single one of us have done something. If it was pushing a broom and cleaning things up, washing windows, whatever. I remember my fondest memories are I was 13 years old, sitting in the office with my dad, summers, weekends, and I was dispatching tow trucks. And checking out customers.
Yeah.
And I can't get my kids to do that. And they're way over that. Really?
You might get them to do 4 calls, but after that, I don't care anymore.
It's true. Something is lost in that handing things down.
I will tell you, my 16-year-old is there right now waiting on customers, so she's doing her dues.
16 years old. Good grief.
That
Man,
is
it's been a long
nice.
time. We, when I was with Silver Rock Productions, that number is 362-1565. They make me say, if I have to say their number, they make me say.
That's why I
have
never
to
say
the
it.
phone number. No, but when I was with Silver Rock, we did a commercial for you guys, and I remember coming over there and looking the place over and going through, the tour, and also that I could really get the feel of what it is that you guys want to say. And at the end of this commercial, one of the tow truck drivers comes up, knocks on the window of this little girl, opens the window, and he gives her the teddy bear that she had left in the car. And it was just so sweet. And because talking to those guys and doing a lot of interaction with them made you feel like, oh, okay, this is what they need to portray, because they are so sweet and so so helpful. So, and I hadn't seen you since. It's been a long time, so we've seen
It has been a
each
while.
other. Yeah,
You look the same.
No,
Fabulous.
You look no.
When she says no and she keeps waving, that means
that
keep
down?
going.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
She's
So
when we come back, I want to find out one more thing about Amy's working from the ground level up. And anyway, and then we'll continue a little talk about this. And we've got to get into Did You Know? And maybe Amy has some Did You Know.
If you have some Did You Knows, let us know. Okay.
Right after these couple of words, and of course, Heart, the
be
Wilson
right back.
sisters.
Oh.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Hi, I'm Joyce with the Corner Pub in downtown Conroe. We're located at the corner of Simonton and North Main, just across the street from the courthouse. The week starts off Monday with open mic hosted by Alan, and Tuesday nights open mic hosted by Jeremy Bankhead. And on Thursday evening, McFarland Jams. There's nightly drink specials available every night, all night. And don't forget, live entertainment every weekend. To see a full list of events, visit our website at thecornerpubinconroe.com. So come join us at the Corner Pub, where the deli is open late.
Hello, Montgomery County. I'm Rachel Baldwin with Special Olympics Texas, Area 6. Are you a fan of courage? Are you a fan of determination? Are you a fan of acceptance, grace, and skill? Then you're already a fan of Special Olympics. Make it official. Volunteer, coach, and/or compete and be a fan of dignity and acceptance. The dedication of our Special Olympics Texas volunteers provides mainstreaming experiences for athletes with intellectual disabilities. You will touch the heart of another person, and it will move you in a meaningful way that lifts the spirit. Please visit the Heart of East Texas Area 6 webpage at www.sltx.org. Also, like us on Facebook to be a fan and be part of Special Olympics Texas.
And we're back with Amy Milstead of the famed Milstead.
She's president.
She's president.
President
Okay.
of the company, man.
How does your brother
Her
think?
Dad.
Is your brother vice president?
The one brother that's in the business with
Yeah.
us, but he does a whole different thing. He handles everything over at our collision center, and
Okay.
and he's younger. He hasn't put the time in.
Oh, Amy was saying
yeah,
there going,
really.
Daddy, I want to be president.
Yeah, right.
She's jumped
That's what
some
people
hoops.
think. He just handed it to me.
Okay, Amy, here's my question, and it comes from some of our callers. I mean, the phone lines have been, and here's the number one question they're asking. Okay, there is a wreck, and all of a sudden, wreckers come up. That's why they're calling them that. Tow trucks pull up from all over the place. I've heard something about throwing chips in a hat and drawing. How do you decide when a person can't throw his chip in the hat or whatever? How does that work? Do you have any idea?
How long is this show?
Oh,
How
gosh,
long do we have?
this sounds important.
Well, there's a whole process there, and the whole United States has different ways of looking at it. Montgomery County works off of the chip system here in the general Montgomery County. Now, if you go to City of Conroe, it's different. If you go to City of Shenandoah, it could be different. City of Oak Ridge. Different places in the county do it different. But the broad Montgomery County, they do it off a chip system. Drivers have to be licensed. They have to be licensed through the state. And when there's an accident like that, usually the sheriff's department will put out a record call, they call it. Everybody in the area shows up, and they all take their little chip and they throw it in. Now, if they're not licensed, the officer can tell them to leave the scene. Then the officer usually goes up and pulls the chip and says, you're going to load. Or sometimes he lets the drivers do it.
Do you know at what time they say, okay, the game's locked, we're going to draw?
Typically, the officers will put out a 15-minute record call.
Okay.
And that means 15 minutes, all
We're
trucks
drawing
get to the
those
scene.
things.
And so move out the way.
Now
It's bad.
The chips are they peculiar to that individual? In other words, he gets his same chip back.
They all have a
these are
number on them. They have a
questions
number or letter, and it usually goes with the truck. So the truck, whoever's driving that particular truck, like in our fleet, the truck, the keys, and all of that belong to one driver, and he may change, so he changes.
Do you think it's legal to put sticky stuff on your chip? Have you heard things
No,
like
it's
this?
not legal.
Oh, man. See, that's the first thing I think
See,
of.
now all the
That's
truck
evil.
drivers out there running. Okay,
There's
but
all kinds of tricks to that. There's a whole laundry list.
very competitive, they the truck drivers sometimes get in the way or impede what's going on at a because that scares me because you see it and they all drive up and there's more tow trucks than there are people in the accident and it's getting crazy and they're all standing around and it's not like vultures, I don't think, but I think they've been kind of compared to that because of the way they act when they get there.
Your lifestyle, your income depends on that. My
That's
question
right.
is, do y'all do
That's why it's
repos?
so competitive.
That's
No, we do not.
But do you watch the reality show?
Yes, Lizard
yes.
Lick. Oh, my
Oh,
favorites. I love that show.
Where did they
Amy's
get
on
those
there.
people? That's right.
my two nephews. I had one come
Your
down.
alter ego.
And if this wasn't so fascinating, I wouldn't tell you about it. But my nephew, who did 4 stints in the Middle East, 2 Afghanistan, 2 Iraq, he comes back. He's been under fire and all this stuff. He comes home, and one of my other nephews was a tow truck driver. He did repos. And he said, hey, Carrie, come with me if you want. He said, oh, man, that'd be great. He goes down one time, and he comes back from this apartment complex in there. He's as white as a ghost. He said, they shot at me. They shot at me.
That is a dangerous line of work.
He came back from Afghanistan. Well, he was
That scared
unarmed,
him.
and
Yeah,
that scared him.
right, sure. But what I was getting to before Mark
I'm sorry.
interrupts me is that do you instruct your tow truck drivers? You have a certain way that they should act, and here's the way you should do this, and do y'all restrict them or anyway? Or
Every company probably has their own policies, and of course we teach our employees how we want them to act, what they do, and all that. Of course, you're going to have the ones that break the rules. I mean, that's in anything from classroom to a company and
to fish guide.
Yeah, they break the rules, but we tell them what we expect. We want professional, business out on the road. You're supposed to dress and act professional at all times, but you don't always get that.
Okay, well, it's okay. We won't send that guy anymore.
Really?
If he messes up. But I want to know was Mark a good teacher?
Oh, excellent. He left an impression. I remembered him.
I'm telling you.
I taught, I didn't teach her, but I was an instructor when Amy was there, economics. And I hated to tell kids this. I hated the course because there's nothing exact about economics. You do one thing in one area, it affects another. And here I am explaining. I didn't know. Nobody knows.
But you
And
didn't
to
know
a
who you
10th
were
or 11th
growing.
grader, it's like, what?
Right. Why are you doing this?
Why do you have to take this
grader?
class?
Why?
But look, now, see, I've seen Amy in action in the office area.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I've seen her work a lot when I first met you. And she's a task.
She's
She
a
is-
diligent young lady.
She
She's-
makes them do what
Yeah.
they're supposed to do, and they don't mess with her.
Right.
They
I was
don't.
pretty much the opposite of that. But
It's all because of my teacher, my
Exactly.
great teacher.
See, you taught her well. You taught her well.
I did.
So I think
and
that's
I'm
good.
Paying her under the table. But we are getting, we've got to get, Cindy, before we go, because you put it on the Facebook about, did you know things? And there's hundreds, millions.
Even Amy has one.
You're kidding. Amy,
Yeah,
let's hear
Amy's
it.
got
Did you
one.
know?
Keeping with the theme today, we're talking about automotive repair and drinking and driving and all that kind of stuff. Did you know that we lose more tow truck drivers in the line of work than police or firefighters in the U.S.?
No.
Absolutely.
Holy
Tow truck drivers have one of the worst jobs out there because they're on side of the road and they are working with cars and traffic is zooming by them. On average, we lose one tow truck driver a week in the nation.
You're
And
talking
it is-
dead.
Yeah, they lose their lives out there. So the move over law does not just place police or fire. It's also for tow truck drivers. So if you see a first responder on side of the road, you need to move over. Give them their
Right.
space because they're trying to do a job, and
grief.
you sure don't want to be one to take them out.
Well, that was much more important. Did you
It
know
was.
than mine? Mine is. Did
Yours
you
is
know,
probably not even serious.
No, I'm telling you. Did you know that the length from your wrist to your elbow is the same length of your foot?
I knew that.
You knew that?
That cannot be. My
See?
foot's not that big.
Can you put your foot up there?
Yeah. No, that's one of the tricks. Oh, that is the joke. You want to see where the mule bit me?
From the
That's another
wrist
joke.
to the elbow.
Elbow. No way, Jose.
That looks.
Well, I can take my shoe off, but I don't want to do that.
That is no.
Hey, I can take my shorts off and put them backwards.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't know. Okay, so that's one of them I've got. Okay, yours is next. Go. You're supposed to have one is ready to go.
Okay.
How many times did your
Oh,
heart
mine?
beat? Yes. How many times your heart beat a day?
Okay, there's a song about that. I don't know.
101,000 times.
Holy
101,000 times.
And you know when you
a
think
day.
about that, boom, 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 boom.
Is that an average or what?
So
Because
your heart
some
beats-
people's heart beats faster than others,
Of course,
depending
yeah,
on what you're
it has
doing.
to be-
Right.
it has to be an average, but it pumps.
Like an ocean
During the
of blood.
lifetime, it's going to pump about 400 million liters. That's 800 million
Mm-hmm.
pints of blood. Wow, it has to pump that. No, you're right.
Okay, I wanted.
It will vary.
It's a
but I think
hard-working
that's
heart.
I know. So
Did you know
respect.
this? And
Yes.
I research. I don't do the internet, Amy. I do the Encyclopedia Britannica. And what it said, the 1987 version, said that 90% of all zippers are made by one company in Japan. One company, 90% of all zippers, and the company's called YKK, that stands for Yako Sakapaki. But that's a lot of zippers. And if somebody blew up the zipper factory, I don't want to think what we would be doing here.
We'd have a zipper crisis.
We would have zipper. We're talking clothespins.
Do you think they made that zipper on yours that goes all the way around?
They had to, because nobody else. They had to know their zippers. I wish I could show. I'll bring what I'm talking about. when I first got him,
Oh, yeah, you should have brought him.
that fly, I kept saying, "Okay, my fly." He keeps wanting to go the other way. What is this all about?
Look, our fly
Mark,
keeps thinking you're
I know,
calling him. Stop
he
it.
does. Anyway, okay, you did too. Let me give you one more.
Okay.
One I told you yesterday, but it's too good to pass up, but I am going to pass it up.
All right.
The current flag, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, the current flag in the United States was designed, the current one, that's 50-star flag.
Yeah?
I thought I got the fly,
Go
but I
ahead.
didn't. Anyway, it was designed by a 17-year-old named Robert Gillette as part of a school project. 17 years old, he figured out how to put those 50 stars in just the right array, and because of a school project, and he made a B on the project, but his flag is
How long
flying.
ago?
That was when Alaska was added. Or was it Hawaii? Hawaii was added. Yeah. Very good, Amy. You remember that from economics class. Yeah. He made that design. And isn't that fascinating, Cindy?
It is.
It's just...
But,
Okay.
did you know?
Don't talk about butts. We're this is a family show, and I don't want to hear about it.
So bad.
Who has the...
Did you know that you don't see through your eyes? That's not what... You don't see through your eyes.
Is it your ears? Okay.
And you're a teacher.
I know.
I love knowing more than this, and I've graduated from Milby. You see with your brain. Your eyes are just the cameras.
Son of God.
But you see through your brain, so you don't see through your eyes. So if somebody, you want to do a... See? You can't see. Can
Not
you?
working.
In other words, if you don't have a brain, you can't see. You can
That's
have the best
right.
eyes in the world.
That's right. It wouldn't matter. The brain is the one that does the work.
Cindy, I'm almost
that lets
tearing
you
up.
see. And I just wanted you to know that. And sometimes when people say, there's just not something behind those eyes. There's not a spark of
I was
life
thinking
behind
about
them.
someone that's in the hospital and in a
Right.
state and their brain is not doing so well, and you always wonder, can they see me?
Right,
So
that's
now
right.
I guess that
That's-
proves no.
That's right.
You
They
know,
might can hear
Brain's
you.
not working.
A friend of mine was in a coma for, I think it was 9 days. And my thought was, what thoughts do you have? And she came to, when she did, and she said, I had no thoughts. It's like when you go have an operation. I haven't had that many, but when I did, I couldn't tell you anything. I'm
like the
asleep.
switch is turned
Yeah,
off.
it's off, and all of a sudden I'm awake. Am I still alive? Yes. Mom.
No dreams, no nothing.
It's the propanol, the drug of choice now to put you to sleep because it doesn't have the after effects when you come out of it, as
okay.
the other did, is the one that Michael Jackson died from taking too much. But it's those ones where it gives you, and you're going like, well, hey guys, don't start anything because I can still feel everything. Okay, don't start anything. And then the next thing you hear is, Cindy, wake up, you're here.
Man.
And that you don't know. That's so amazing.
It is. On that colonoscopy, I thought I had it to look forward to again. No, Mark, it's over. Oh my gosh, thank you. And I was dancing in the street. Of course, I had my
I
kilt
love
on.
it. Okay, now, do you know
Yeah.
that if the water in your body is reduced by 1%, you'll be thirsty. You're thirsty. Just 1%, you lose 1%. I mean, you lose water enough to make you thirsty. That's what it is.
Man, I just lost some more too. Oh
See?
gosh.
Just 1% and you're thirsty. So, because of how much we're made up of water.
Right.
Everything's made, the brain, I didn't realize the brain has much water, 75%.
Yeah.
In the brain.
If you'll go
Water
out,
on the
and
brain.
we can do this as a field trip, go out in some of the cemeteries and dig people up, and you'll see it's pretty much dust and stuff. It's not much there. You're right, it's water. You get rid Oreos
That's right. Drink
were
more
a
water.
ripoff. I don't know if y'all knew this. Oreos were a ripoff on Hydrox. How many have had the Hydrox cookie?
Hydrox.
I think I got some bad ones when I was
Wait,
real young.
what's a Hydrox
It
cookie?
looks just like an Oreo, only it's called Hydrox. But, oh man, it was bad. But I think I might have got a bad batch. Were they okay for you, Dick, when you got your Hydrox?
They're fine.
Fine. Anyway, Oreos, if you took all the Oreos that have been made since the conception of what you call your Oreo, it would stretch to the moon and back 4 times. If you just put them one on... That's a lot of Oreos over
I think
a
I've
period
eaten
of...
enough to stretch at least
No,
one
I
at
don't
a
think
time.
so, Amy.
I
If you
think
do,
so.
you're doing
We
some
love
kind
Oreos
of,
in my house.
Great
man.
metabolism.
And you know the neat technique how to eat Oreos with milk is, right?
Taking them apart. Or
Well, what I use a fork, and I stab the fork in the middle with the cream. So you hold it like that, and you just dip it, and you count, and then you pull it out and eat it like that.
Inside the milk.
Yeah.
Oh,
We get to time it
okay.
right, because if you leave it in, it'll come
Well,
off.
we
but-
were so poor we dipped it in water, and it's not.
not
Ew.
the
But it's-
same.
That's gross.
It's
just
got the
not
same
same.
texture.
Yeah.
But did you know that 55% of the people that when they see someone yawn, within 5 minutes they yawn.
I believe that.
And
I just can't believe anything she says.
I believe it.
All right, would you like to?
Right
let's see,
now,
how
I'm
many-
trying
there's
not
three
to
here,
yawn. Just
and
hearing the word, and
just-
now Amy's yawning. I'm
well,
done
that's
for.
what they say, but even reading
Has
the
nothing to do
word-
with the show at all,
no.
promise.
Yes, except if you're listening to the show.
I
But yawning is so that is the strangest phenomenon about when you see somebody yawn, that you've got to do that. I mean, if the urge is just there, you can't break it.
But
What?
Go ahead.
They say smiles are contagious too.
Oh my
that's
word!
true.
If
Mhm.
not,
That's true.
they're beautiful. But I know people that couldn't smile if you slapped them silly. But let me say this:
What?
I need you listeners out there to find out how many Facebook this. How many of you checked one of your checks yesterday when I mentioned
Oh, that's
to
right.
you
Listen to this, Amy.
that the signature line on a check is not a line at all? It's reduced lettering. It's microscopic lettering that you can't see with a magnifying glass. It says authorized signature. Amy, I looked that up. I put a magnifying glass on it, and it is true on my checks anyway. Authorized signature, and it's not a line. You look at the other lines, and I'm trying to read author. There's nothing in them, but then you look at the signature line.
I think that's a conspiracy. There's some conspiracy there somewhere. I think so.
Cindy,
Yeah,
let's
I
take a
know
break. And
Oh,
when we get back with an encouraging word, you're going to hear this story about this little boy that I wish I was like him. He's just, what a sign. But right now, let's listen to the Wilson sisters.
And we've been talking to Amy Milstead, our special guest
yes.
today.
Amy's a
and
doll. Thanks,
maybe
Amy.
she'll hang around with us till
I wouldn't blame her if
word.
she didn't, but yeah.
We'll be right back.
Tri-County Services provides services to children and adults with mental illnesses, substance abuse disorders, and intellectual developmental disabilities in Montgomery, Liberty, and Walker counties. Offices are located in Conroe, Cleveland, Liberty, and Huntsville. Some mental health services offer focus on resilience and recovery. Services and supports for individuals with intellectual development disabilities focus on skill development and independence. Tri-County Services offers 24/7 crisis intervention and evaluation with Crisis Hotline 1-800-659-6994 and their mobile crisis outreach team. Psychiatric crisis treatment is available at Psychiatric Emergency Treatment Center in Conroe. Substance abuse services include treatment for both youth and adults. Substance abuse prevention classes are also provided for younger children and teenagers. Peer support services for veterans are also offered by Tri-County Services. For more information about all programs provided by Tri-County Services, call 936-521-6100 or visit our website at www.tricountyservices.org.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schisler and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schisler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschisler@silverfox.org or call into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
You're listening to Lone Star Internet Radio. Now for your daily weather report. Today is Tuesday, July 8th, 2014. Today's weather forecast, there's a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Partly sunny with a high near 92. Later on tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with a low around 73.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Donna Wick Public Relations. You've seen the billboards. That's right, Wicked Publicity. Contact them today at 832-326-1965 and visit them at wickedpublicity.com.
Hey, we are back on the Mark and Cindy Show doing all kind of experiments to test these fun facts of Did You Know? Amy Milstead gave up her dignity by taking her foot in her shoe and put it up to because the fact that we found out was from the wrist to the elbow is how long your foot is. And she did it. She actually did it. She took her foot, put it there, and it was true. So, Mark,
catch it
you
on
got a
YouTube,
big foot.
folks.
Okay. Okay, here's one more fun fact.
Okay, let's hear it, Cindy.
And then I won't say anymore. Okay. Did you know that a person will stay conscious for 8 seconds after they're decapitated? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000.
I've watched the X-Files, too.
5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000.
I used to think that's the way I'd want to go because it'd be quick. That's not
I don't think that I don't think you're feeling anything because your body's
Oh, that's
gone.
right.
So it's just you're just looking at the last people that you want.
The only part that hurts is the top, is your chin, and below that area is going to your brain saying, "Wow, this is not normal."
We've just lost a lot of weight. Okay.
Okay, but as you see with your brain, not your eyes. So, do you see anything going on?
Well, see, your brain is still
We really need to test this.
No, your brain is still there, and it stays conscious for
By the
8
way,
seconds.
tomorrow Cindy's going to tell us how they discovered this information, and they took a volunteer to hook diodes to us. They probably, I'm hoping they used a rat first, but it could be wrong. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, encouraging word. Before we leave you today, I was reading this thing this morning, and it was such a nice story, and it told me, sometimes it speaks to me like this. It says, Mark, you need to live like that. And it's a story, and I read it, and I don't know if it's true, but the person who wrote it put the guy's name in it to make it sound like it's definitely true. But whether it is or not, if it's a parable, it's really good. Mm-hmm. It has to do with a state of mind I don't have, and I'm working towards. This guy, and in the story his name was Michael, he didn't give him a last name, but he had a friend whose father died, left him an inheritance that was really big, so he bought his best friend a car, a nice car. And I'm sorry, Michael's the name of the friend that got the car. And it was a cool looking car. So Michael went to the grocery store and took it, and he parked, and he was got out, went in, and when he came back, there was a car sitting next to it, one of these old beat up Lincoln town cars, and the window was rolled down, and this little kid was in the back, and he asked a question like a little kid would. You know, the guy's getting in the car. He said, "Hey, mister, is that your car?" You know, and I would have said something like, "No, I'm stealing it." But he did not. He said, "Son, it is, but a friend gave it to me for Christmas." And the little boy said, "He gave it to you?" "Yes, he did." "For free?" "Yes, he did." "You didn't pay anything for it?" And he said, "That's correct." And he said, "I wish I was a friend like that." That was so nice. And I thought of that state of mind. I mean, obviously my thought is, why do you so lucky? You know, I wish you had a wart on your nose and I had your car.
Right.
That's kind of stuff. And this kid, to have the honesty of, not all kid would say that, but I wish I could be a friend like that. And it made me think of 2 Corinthians 9. And this verse has been used by every preacher on the face of the earth, this stanza. But listen to this, and it's Paul speaking, and he says, "Now this I say, he who sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Each one must do just as he has purposed in his heart, not grudgingly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." And listen to this, "And God is able to make all grace abound to you, so that always, having all sufficiency in everything, you may have an abundance for every good deed." He didn't say you will have an abundance, Mark, so you can live, eat, and be happy all your life. He said, so you'll have an abundance for every good deed. That is just a blessing, and that's what that boy was saying in a sense. I heard this, and I'm going to share it with you, and I'll shut up in just a second. We'll sign off. Those who entrust themselves to God will not only experience the peace of God, but the God of peace himself. Nothing is really ours until we share it, and that is from C.S. Lewis. And there's also one prayer. I'm going to leave. This is going to be a prayer as we leave, ladies and gentlemen. Do we? Yeah, it's about time. You've got a few words.
Yes,
yeah. It says, here's a prayer. Lord, whether I have a lot or a little, you have given me something I can share. Show me someone I can bless today. You know, Amy Milstead's here today, and she was talking about, or we were trying to plug her last call program. That is something to share, to think of everyone. In this case, someone who really
that's
may
what-
not know it, but
and
they
that's
need
what her
a-
dad taught her.
Yeah.
And her dad knew that was the way to be successful, is to give back and to do
Yeah.
that kind of things in those kind of acts of kindness. That's wonderful. I love that. Listen, we have appreciated you coming on here. We know you're a busy, busy lady.
Oh, she's a
and,
president.
And she's a president. And I wish we had that music, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Anyway, Amy, thank you for giving us your time and
Thank you
giving
guys
of
for
yourself.
having us. Thank
Well,
you.
it
Thank
was
you for
a blessing.
allowing us.
Well, that's what we want to do on the Mark and Cindy show, is to make sure that we promote all the good things in this county, and we've got plenty. So listen, guys, it's a beautiful day outside. It's not raining right now. It's 15 minutes. In this 15 minutes, we're good. So have a good day. Go out and make somebody happy. That'll make you happy. It's weird, but it happens. God loves you, and God's got this. See you tomorrow.
Show. Every day I listen in. We're gonna talk about what's going on in town. You never know who's gonna come around on the Mark and Cindy show. Let's Mark and Cindy on the radio.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.